viewers can see you. So, Sir Don, that's your nickname, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and where are you streaming from right now?
Oh, okay. I'm streaming from Kaduna, a city in Nigeria, here in West Africa.
It seems very, very lonely and quiet where you are.
Yeah, the streets are quite lonely, as you can see right behind me. It's crazy, but it's amazing as well. We're staying safe. We're staying indoors, and we are keeping to the social distancing and you know, just honoring the authorities and all of that.
So how has this experience been, guys? We're just talking about, like I told you guys earlier this afternoon when I was live, that I'm going to be bringing people from different parts of the world to tell us their experience during this COVID-19, not just their experience, but how they are doing in the country where they are. So again, this is just a test run, guys. I'm using a brand new app, so if you see any glitches, just pardon us. We're gonna perfect it. We're hearing live from Sardon. I follow Sardon. Actually, I'm in one of his mentorship group on Facebook, on WhatsApp, that he's doing an amazing job with the young minds, mentoring them. It's not an easy
Yeah,
job to do. I do that. I know exactly what you go through. So kudos to you. Thank you so much for that
thank you,
amazing job. So tell us, what has
thank you.
been your experience with this shock that just came on the whole universe?
Oh wow, it's been amazing. Different people are looking at it from different angles. The spiritual leaders are looking at it from the spiritual angle. Those in the social world are seeing it from the social angle. Like a few days ago, I heard it's connected to the 5G network, and wherever it started from was used as a test run and all of that. So different people are having different experiences and all of that. But I don't know. It has been an amazing time for people like myself, especially when I hear people say they are bored, they don't know what to do, and I begin to ask, what have they been doing with their lives? There are free there are free books online you can read. As far as I'm concerned, I have more than 500 PDF books on my phone, on my device right now. I have lineup of people I'm mentoring every day of my life, and I can sit on my bed from morning to night for 3 days, 6 days, and not be bored because I'm busy actualizing and achieving purpose. I'm happy dishing out values, connecting with people, seeing that I bring about long-term happiness, fulfillment, and the likes of other, and I don't get bored. So I think this social distancing, this isolation has really given me an opportunity to get to connect to people that I've not had time for. I've not have had time to, privately give them my time for mentorship and the likes of all that. So it has really been an amazing time for me. It has been an amazing time for me.
It's
Yes.
so beautiful to hear something positive from somebody that is being in the public eye like you have been. A
Yeah.
lot of the things that when all of this mess started, I did a video and I posted it, and I got a lot of
Okay.
insults and people calling me, "Oh, this is serious. Why are you saying people should go about their business? People should do this, people should do that." Now, most of those people that sent me nasty messages are calling me and say, "Oh, thank you so much for that very first video because it has helped me to realize that I needed this time to do great things for
Hmm.
myself." So it's so beautiful
Yeah.
hearing a different side of all the negative. Like, you are so positive, you are achieving
Hmm.
stuff, you're taking this opportunity that will never come again. you know
It will never
it
come.
would never
True.
come again.
Yeah.
How long have you been waiting to do a particular thing that you've never had time to do? Just as simple as even connecting with people that you wanted to connect with. Now you have the opportunity, to do
Yeah.
that. What do you want to do? What are you planning? Let me reframe the question. What are you planning to do after this whole episode? I call it an episode because it's a face by face thing.
So
When,
it is.
when this phase is over, What are your plans? And
Well,
how can
okay.
that help the youth that you mentor?
Well, so far, I think one of the strategies I developed for 2020 for my young people is because I'm a relationship strategist, is building goals for relationship, right? At every point, I always get back and try to see how far they have gone in the journey, try to make build values, principles for their relationship. You don't just go about building, getting in and out of relationship. I did a research and I came about this amazing discovery that in a year, an average young person go about 3, 4 relationship in a year in a 12-month calendar.
Hmm.
It's preposterous. It's outrageous. So when we get out of this, I'm thinking the time I've taken to mentor certain people, the quality time I've developed to, spare to give to these people, we're gonna try to build a structure to see how in a 12-month calendar, because the thing is not just getting out of relationship, it's getting healing for it. Sorry, I'm diverting the people. I'm building a structural foundation to
That's
the
okay. Go
question you
ahead.
asked.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about getting healing, right? And part of the things I do is when you get out of the relationship, I try to help you find healing for yourself before you decide if you are ready to get back into the relational market, right? So within this period of isolation and social distancing, I try to help people find themselves, find their value, try to gather the pieces of their heart they've given out to somebody they claim they love and he claim he loved them and has shattered. Try to help you build and rebuild that which has been shattered, and then see how you can get back on your feet and decide if you are ready for the social and relational markets. So when we're done with all this, we help you build a structure and see how you can carefully follow that, because by the time we are done with this social distancing and isolation, people want to get back together. They start hugging again, they start shaking hands again, they start, giving tight pegs again, and the likes of all that. But then would have, build a structure and help you understand that these things are not a proof that somebody truly loves you. Somebody is really going to go out of their way and sacrifice when it comes to love, because that's basically what love is all about. So it's just basically, in summary, to build a structure and see how to help these people follow it and be sure they kept and they learned something from the private sessions we have had over the last 2 to 3 weeks. I think that's it. I have more to
How
say,
is
but of the timing,
please go
just
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you're about to ask a question.
Yeah, my next question is, like we are in the Western world, and
Okay.
by the grace of God, the government here are really trying to take care of
Okay.
those that can't, take care of themselves in this COVID period. Okay,
Okay.
right back there in Nigeria, will you be able to say anything that will not implicate you? Because I understand, where you guys are and how things work there. Or from your personal
Yeah.
experience, what are the sufferings? What are people going through? The everyday woman that has to go to the market to sell one or two things before they are able to feed their parents. All of a sudden, I mean, their children, all of a sudden now they can't go. This is my
Yeah.
heart cry. I want the
Yeah.
world to hear from the everyday, ordinary people what they are
Yeah.
going through.
Yeah, well, I really love, thank you, Big Auntie Amina. I love that question because it just reminded me of an experience I had last week. Yeah, I was just surfing the net. I woke up in the morning, I was surfing the net, and then I saw somebody posted a picture of a woman hawking guava. There's this fruit in Africa we call guava. I don't know if it's in the world around the
Yes, we
West.
do have it. We do have it. It comes
Okay,
in from the
beautiful.
Caribbean island. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And there's this elderly woman that I think she is in her early 50s. And she was hawking this fruit with her young daughter. And they were these military men. The picture was well captured. It was a message.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I'm a media practitioner. I tell stories. I tell a story. I can tell a story with pictures. And that singular frame of a picture conveyed a whole lot of message. You could see a very young military guy in the military uniform flogging an elderly woman trying to hawk guava. Do
Oh
you
my God.
understand? people don't understand what social distancing means. We have not used our media, multimedia, as a tool to convey fully the message of this coronavirus of a thing, right? People hear about social distancing and they don't know what it means. People hear about stay home, stay safe, and they don't know what it means. Our government have not been able to use the social media as a tool to adequately convey the message, that comes with this COVID-19 deal. So I saw that, it broke my heart. I had to do a video. I didn't post it on Facebook anyways. I had to do a video and I shared my concern and I said, this is preposterous. It's out of hand. We need to do something. At some point, I heard that Aliko Dangote, one of the richest guys in Africa as a whole, offered to give up 200 million naira. And Atiku, one of the presidential candidates for the 2019 election, offered through his foundation, to give in, I think, 50 million or so. And that's how some other corporate bodies and entities were donating. And I wonder how they keep giving the government that don't need this money the money, instead of setting up a structure and building a system where they can get this money straight to the needy in the society. About, I think, the very week where it was announced that we should, build social distancing. Sorry, are you hearing me?
I'm
Are you hearing
hearing you
me?
loud and clear. Yes.
Yeah, I talk a lot. Okay, but I earn a living through talking, so I like talking. All right,
No,
so
please go ahead. It's important.
the first week the whole deal started, right? My dad is a reputable man of God in Nigeria as a whole. He goes by the name Evangelist Matthew Ojai. Most of you might know him. The first week he started, he was in Abuja, and he called me immediately and sent me to the bank to withdraw some money and make sure I get raw food and stock up the store in the house, because I don't know how he knew that people were going to be tripping into the house, because there's going to be hunger in the next 2 to 3 weeks, right?
Mm.
And I was like, well, why does this man wants to waste money? I didn't see what he saw, because he's 73 years old. I didn't see what he saw. But 2 days into the whole deal, when I think we spent close to 200,000 naira buying only yam, and we stock up the store. We bought bags and bags of curry, and the food stuff in the market, everything just skyrocketed, and it was not nice, right? The point I'm trying to make is the government have not used the social media as a tool to reach and convey enough messages. And the contributions that have been given, the government have not been able to reach the average poor person in the average poor society. We are lacking in that. I heard yesterday somewhere in Kaduna that even amidst the pandemic, some group of people came and gathered people in their hundreds of thousands to share, palliative and relief materials to them, foodstuff and the likes of all that. If there's one person that has this virus amidst these people, they would have spread it amongst 1,000 people. You see, that's not nice. That's not a system whereby you're saying people should stay home. You're setting up curfews, especially in places like Kaduna and Mina, and yet you are gathering people to share palliative instead of setting up a system where you go house by house to share these things to these people. I think the government is not doing enough job. I understand you say I should be careful because of so I'm choosing my words carefully,
That's
right? But the government is not doing enough. We are not doing enough. If we have a structure and a system whereby the power holding company of Nigeria can build a structure where they go house to house to share NEPA bills and get their monthly payoff of power bills and all of that, we can use and go through that system and go house by house and share this palliative and be able to build a safe system and safe society and safe community for our people. But the government knows the right thing to do, but we are not doing it. We're not doing it. We keep enriching the rich, and the poor keep going poor, keep becoming poorer every day of their life. So it's not nice. As a matter of fact, as of this morning, I had a little quarrel with one of my friends on Facebook, because she keeps on insulting and insulting and insulting, and she's not doing anything to make bring about relief and alleviation to the whole deal that is going on.
See, the thing that amazes me the most is now that this COVID-19 has hit even Nigeria, a lot
Yeah.
of the government, the same government officials come to the Western world to go to the hospital for their checkup, medical
For their
checkup.
medical care.
Their
Yeah, they
children
do
come
that.
out here for all of that. What
Yeah,
I could not up till this moment wrap my head around is if one of them gets sick now, there's no jet plane that they have packed in their bags right now that can fly them to any country to get treatment.
that's true.
What will they do now? Will they be attending the local hospitals there? Will they be like, I still cannot get it. How much money can you get? How much money can you get?
I
One
think
person wants to continue to get and get and get and get. What are they doing now? Like the people that are being sick, I understand that there are no places for the testing for the COVID-19, no places set
yeah.
up for quarantine people.
Mhm.
Anybody that is sick goes into the same general hospital where the other people that have other kinds of sicknesses are already there, putting them in
Yeah.
more risk of
More
getting.
risk. That's true. That's
So
true.
what anything your state is doing or any other state to take care of such
Well,
things?
well, to begin with, when the whole quarantine started,
I think I your this thing is freezing up. I'm pretty sure is the network over where he is. Thank you guys for joining. Um
can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Sorry about that. I think a call came into my phone and it distorted the network, the reception.
Okay, no problem.
So, as I was saying, the whole deal, I think the first week the whole thing started, the governor was able to, set certain structures in place, put certain structures in place, and create a system where he was communicating through the social medias and all of that, telling people to stay home and educating people on what to do and what not to do, right? But it hit me, and I was disappointed when it got to a point where the governor announced that earlier in the week he sent his sample for testing for the COVID-19 testing, and the result came out, and he was disappointed to announce that he tested positive. And I could not understand that. As far as I'm concerned, as a media practitioner and a social media agent, I think that guy is lying. Okay, quote me anywhere. I think it's not true, because as far as I'm concerned, I went on my Facebook page, on my WhatsApp, and I kept announcing. I said, this is not true. How can you test positive and the deputy governor did not test positive? How can
Because
you
they are
test
using this to
it?
take to get money into the state.
Yeah, to
They,
get allocation, COVID-19 allocation. And these are lies. These are people we put in power, people we feel they are responsible, people we feel they will cater for our resources, and they come to the social, world. I mean, come on camera, come live on camera, show to the world, and they lie to our faces. That's an insult. As far as we're concerned, you are insulting us, you are insulting the office, you are insulting the chair you're sitting on,
that's
right?
right.
And he came out and he said he tested positive. And I'm wondering, how come your aides that are always close to you, always touching you, always securing and keeping you safe, didn't test positive? How come your children didn't test positive? How come your wife did not test positive? Do you understand my point? And then
Absolutely.
yesterday evening, I read another post on social media. I don't know how true that is. And they said the same governor that claimed that he tested positive undergo treatment, and now he tested negative. And
Oh
I'm
my
wondering what
goodness.
happened.
Within 24
Do you
hours.
understand? Not just 24 hours, I think within a week or so, because he announced that last week. And then yesterday evening, I saw a post saying that now he's negative, and I could not understand that. Why should you do that? You don't have to
Yeah,
do that just simply because you want to attract allocation for COVID-19. Because most of the corporate organizations, most of the big companies were just remitting their contribution for the control and fight of the COVID-19 deal. And we're not even doing anything with the money. Somebody just stack up the money. And if we said we know how Nigerian system work, If they say they are going to build structures today, structure for to curb the menace, the pandemic, and all of that, we know Nigeria very well that it's going to take nothing less than 2 to 3 years to finish just one structure. We are
That
that
is
crazy in this
if
country.
he ever comes.
If it ever comes, they send money to a contractor. The contractor will cut his money, his share in, cut the money into two, and subcontract the contract to another contractor. This is why things doesn't work out in this country. As far as I'm concerned, as of this morning, I was telling somebody, I said, I don't believe there's coronavirus in Kaduna as a whole. I'm saying this and I'm staking this on my integrity. I posted on somebody's timeline this morning on Facebook. I said, I don't believe. There's no proof anywhere that there's COVID 19 in Kaduna as a whole. The governor just succeeded in projecting an image and then telling the whole world that despite the fact that he tried to control, the virus in his state as a whole, he ended up being the first person to contact the virus. How did you come about that? Can
Where
you
was he
explain?
controlling the virus?
Do you understand? So sometimes they just play around with our intelligence, thinking we didn't go to school, but we are educated. We understand these deals. You understand? So sometimes it's painful when these people in authority, these leaders that we put there, we feel they are going to represent us well, are misrepresenting us, they're lying to our faces, and doing these deals. They are not. It's not nice at all. So I think a whole lot is going wrong, and until we, the young people in the country at large, rise up to do something about it,
That is
I think
exactly
we'll
where
continue
I
in
was
this.
going. That's
Yeah,
my
until
next
we do.
question to you.
Okay.
You're already mentoring a lot of young people. And the truth
Yeah.
is, I was watching the Daily Show with this guy from South Africa. He was interviewing a young Swedish girl that is fighting for climate change right now. Okay. And one
Okay.
of the things that she said, the question to her was, why so young and why taking on such a big project? And she said, the climate change thing has a direct impact on we, the young people. And if we don't deal with it now, our generations is going to suffer. And the same question I'm throwing back at you now. Yeah, you're a very young man and you're already mentoring a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Do you see any possibility that someday you will be able to impact so much on these people that you guys will rise up as youths of Nigeria and
Mhm.
the youths in the diaspora connect together to be able to return power to the rightful place? Because again, you guys' future is at stake.
It is really.
So
It is.
you guys must do something. One thing that I realize is a lot of us Nigerians are so afraid to die, you know.
That's
But
true.
for things like this to happen, certain people is gonna go,
Yeah.
includes
Yeah.
myself. So if I have to go for Nigeria to become better, so be it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think the youth are thinking? Do you guys ever have such discussions? Do you guys ever even think it's ever possible that a young man would take control of Nigeria?
Well,
Or
right now, go ahead. I'm listening.
I mean, a young man or a young woman to ever
Okay.
have the opportunity to rule Nigeria? Is there any future in that?
Well, first things first. We have a dictator for a president, right? Permit me to say that we
For
have a
now,
dictator for a
for now,
president
that's gonna
for now.
pass. It's gonna pass.
Yeah, it's gonna pass. But for now, we have a dictator for a president, and the people that are surrounding this so-called dictator are people that uh, have succeeded in creating a system whereby if a group rise up, even if it's just to protest, you know, they just create and come up with a new name, a terrorist organization name, and describe you guys as a terrorist organization, and thereby, create a system where they describe you as trying to frustrate the peace of the state or the peace of the country, right?
Hmm.
Even when you are advocating for your rights, they see you as a threat and they find a way to shut you down. Plus, minus, they find a way to shut you down, shut you out, silence you, just get you somewhere. And, we have seen it happen severally, not once, not twice, not 5 times, not 10 times. That happens severally with people we even have direct relations with, right? We have seen it happen. So we're being careful. Sometimes we sit with the elderly parents, those that are in their 70s, in their 80s, and we sit down, we ask certain questions. Why are all this happening now? And they tell us certain stories, and we're like, okay, well, that's one. Secondly, I'd like to tell you a story of how it happened that I'm still in this country, right? So a few years ago, before I started, okay, when I started my mentoring sessions with the average young people, preparing them for the future and all of that, one of the motivations I have or I had back then was that I had a discussion with God and I told him I was tired of the things going on in this country. You can't get a nice job. You're done with school. You see people with BSc degrees, MSc, doctorate, and they don't have a job. They're walking on the street looking tattered. They don't even have a house of their own. Do you understand? And I see how life is being made easy abroad for Nigerians that go outside the country. They get a nice job. They are qualified, have certifications that are qualified, that can fetch them a good job that will, give them a better future and the likes of all that. And they are doing well abroad. And I had a discussion with God and I said, well, I don't want to stay in this country anymore. I just want to leave. To just get somewhere where I can have a better life for myself, for my family, for my siblings, and those around me, my loved ones, and the likes of all. And God told me no, and I was wondering why. Why can't I leave this country?
That's a
And
good
He said,
answer, though, from God. I'll tell you
yes, listen.
right
And he said, these average young people that you are shaping their mentality and their mindset, because what we do, we mentor people in two dimensions. Okay. We try to help the average young person find a balance in his career path and his relational life. We did a research and came about this amazing discovery that if an average young man gets it wrong in his career path, he's going to waste years of his life
That's right.
and it's going to affect his future. If this average young person gets it wrong in their relational life, the way they relate with people, their mindset, and the likes of all that, they are going to waste life and it's going to affect them both mentally, psychologically, and otherwise for a very long time. So we need to correct this. And that's what I do basically. So I've mentored your average young people, hundreds of them. I don't want to say thousand. I don't think I've gotten there yet, but I've mentored hundreds of young people, and I'm still mentoring them. And when I asked God to allow me leave this country in search of a greener pasture, like they say, and all of that, and God said no. And I asked why. Here's the trick. And he said, by the time you leave this country and you leave these average young people, you are shaping their mind. Who is going to mentor them and do the job you're doing?
Mm,
The same people that are on the throne that are making things difficult for the average Nigerians are the same set of people that are going to mentor these young people. By the time you get back to Nigeria in the next 30, 40, or 50 years, what you are seeing now would have been worse, would have been
worse.
multiplied by 5 or 10 times. Because these terrible people in leadership right now would have mentored these young people, and these young people will be worse and be doing the worst than these people are doing. So your job right now in Nigeria is to sit back, mentor these young people, arrange their mindsets, correct the wrong things, and teach them the right set of principles so that by the time they get into the offices, the parastatals, the government, and the leadership position, they will be able to influence, infiltrate, and impose. Okay, the word is not impose, and teach the right set of principles and standards that you have taught them with while growing up. Do you understand my position right now?
That is perfect position. And
Yeah.
thank you for
So
the
as it is right now,
sacrifice.
I am paying a steep price by remaining in Nigeria. I'm not finding it easy. They are not. Sometimes we write proposal to people to sponsor the projects we're doing because some of the average young people we have back in Nigeria, some of them are living their life carelessly. Some of them don't even know that there's a future, waiting for them, and this future they need to plan and prepare for. So by reason of our mentorship, we bring the consciousness of the average young man to this, right? And then we teach them how to. So, in summary, the mentoring sessions we are taking, we are preparing the average young minds for the future that they deserve, for the future that is coming, for the future that they most definitely need to prepare for. That's it.
Um, the like we can keep talking. Somebody here is writing, just agreeing with you, and he
Okay.
says, I have listened to your interview, and I must say the situation is out of ordinary here, as far out of
Yeah.
control. The suffering has been upgraded. The suffering has been upgraded to 5G as well. That's not funny.
uh,
But wow, there is a propaganda of disbursed of about 5 billion naira to the members of the public, but it's a lie. Yeah,
mhm, a lie.
why? Why?
Well, this
Why
monies
are
that
they
are
doing that? Where is the money going to? It's my question. Where is the
well, I
money going to?
yeah.
Who has the money? I don't understand.
Well, my thought is, I think the money is just exchanging hands between the rich, right, and hardly gets to the poor. Let me shock you, right, big auntie Amina. Let me shock you with a story. Um, I saw online a video post that was made, right? Are you
Mhm.
with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, a video post was made, and a particular governor of a particular state in Nigeria, I don't want to mention names, yeah, for security reasons, a particular governor of a particular state boldly and coldly, permit me to use that phrase, and coldly went to a community, and they were sharing, if you know Nigerian bread very well, there's this bread they sell for, I think, 15 naira. They were sharing this bread, and they were distributing one bread of 15 naira to four people to
Oh
share.
my
How
God.
is that? How
Well, was
heartless
that
can we
was that
be?
true? Was that true though?
Well, I saw a video post was made, and the people that went to be part of the palliative that was being shared were the one that was confirming the story, right? How can you give one bread of 15 naira to four people to share? Does that make any sense to you? Do you understand? So the money, I think these big people, some of them are innocent per se, because they just um, give this contribution, and they don't know how the structuring of the sharing of the whole money go about. Okay, but I think we have capable hands, we have intelligent young people, but these old people don't want to give opportunity to these young people, because when they do, their secrets will come out, right? That's why they are maxing and pressing and suppressing the expressions of the masses. Do you understand? And
This
it's
this is
terrible. It's too terrible.
it's not going to be on for too long though. One thing I know with this COVID-19 situation, like you said
Okay,
earlier,
I can hear you
can
now.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear
Okay.
you now.
So one thing I know with this situation of COVID-19 right now, it's
Yeah.
actually a huge blessing because a lot of things are being exposed. A lot of things
Yes.
are being exposed. And one
Yeah.
thing as a Christian, which I think you are too, and most of our viewers right now, is
Yeah.
if you really, really read the Bible, you're going to
Mhm.
know and believe that God is only allowing what the enemy has planned for evil, turning it
Mhm.
around for his good, for his glory, to return
Mhm.
power back into the hands of those that duly deserve to have power to be able to
Yeah.
rule and take his kingdom to where it's supposed to be. Now, that is a whole topic for another time. But one thing that I wanted to stress and bring out in this discussion is the fact that a lot of people are living in fear of the unknown. And just like you earlier said, it is a fear of being misled into what is not as if though it is. Just like the governor of your state that came out and said, hey, I have COVID-19, test positive, just to scare people and get money into the system where they
Mm.
are the ones sitting on top of that money. So,
Mm.
what is the one message that you have for people that are not listening or maybe will be listening later to this video and everyone listening right now, what is the message that you would have, knowing the truth that even in your own state, there is no COVID-19 virus?
Well, to begin with, I'm a strong believer of my faith, Christianity. My faith strongly advised that we should pray for the leaders and honor authority, right? There's a purpose why God is allowing whatever is happening right now to happen. Okay.
Absolutely.
I asked my dad this question about 4 or 5 days ago. I said, why do they do this? And he said, he just looked at me and shook his head. And he said, all he knew is that whatever you say, you will have what you say. It is scripture
Mm,
in the Bible,
mm.
right? Whoever doesn't have COVID 19 and claim that they have COVID 19,
It
they are
becomes
going
their
to have,
portion.
yes, they are going to have what they see. And it was a strong message that hits me, you know. And so I think I would like to advise my fellow Nigerians and maybe others in the other part of the West African countries that are being terrorized, permit me to use that word, right?
Mhm.
To just stay calm, just obey the government, remain in your homes, do the best you can to stay safe, right? As much as COVID 19 is real, I mean, as much as we are saying in Nigeria, in some states, they are claiming that there's COVID 19, and we know for sure that there's no COVID 19 in the states, yet COVID 19 is real, right? Just stay safe, um, use the measures that have been advised, use nose mask, use your hand sanitizers, sanitize yourself very well. In fact, for me, each time I drive out of the house and I come back, I just hit the shower, take a 15-minute bath. I one of
That's
my
serious. Huh?
don't mind me, I'm minus the COVID 19. For me, one of my favorite room in the house is the bathroom. That's where I sit and I have a deep-seated conversation with God. So each time I enter the bathroom, I take my time to pray. So I just sit under the shower and allow water to just run down my body and I sit down. Sometimes I enter the shower with a book, you can imagine. Because as I sit there, I get inspired to write.
You
I
should
write
join
a
my
lot.
book club. You should join my
Oh,
book
I
club.
should. I,
I
I
just
will. I
started a
will.
book club, read a book a week, and just to encourage people.
Yeah,
And
I think I saw that.
yeah, it's
So
going
basically, I think
nuts right now.
yeah, so when I come back, I hit the shower and take a shower, a 15-minute bath, and come out. Each time I drive out, even if I just drive out for 5, 10 minutes and I come back, because sometimes you can just be in the house and you want to drive to a neighbor's house and deliver something. Sometimes my dad will just wake up and just remember somebody and say, go and give this person 2 tubers of yam. Go and check on this person, whether they have food in the house. Go and check this person and find out if they have eaten and the likes of all that. These are the kind of leaders we're looking for in our society.
That's right.
A leader will sit in his house and be thinking about other people other than himself. My dad is one of the prestigious and proactive, you know, philanthropists I've ever met in all my life. My dad can give out 1,000 naira to a person that don't have food to eat and decide to eat a food of 200 naira. Who does that?
Wow.
Do you understand?
You
Who
should
does that?
you should be nominating him for the next Vigo Awards coming up in Tanzania.
Yeah, we will do that. We will do that. And sometimes what he does baffles me. He can decide to go hungry and make sure that other people have food. He can have 1,000 naira or 20,000 naira in his pocket and decide he cannot give that 20,000 naira to one person. He will find a way to share to either 10 or 20 people and make sure everybody have something in their pockets. That's the kind of person he is, and he has just been amazing. These are the kind of leaders. I'm not saying my dad should be the president or so, but I'm saying these are the kind of leaders with this kind of heart, that have the
That's
heart
right.
for the average people in the society to make sure everybody is fine,
Mhm.
everybody is doing well. Nigeria is one of the richest country, as far as I'm concerned, in Africa as a
Super
whole, if
rich.
not the world.
Super rich.
We are super, we are abundant
Super
resources
rich.
with intelligent people, resource persons, and the likes of all that. If we
That's
can
right.
come up to the point where we set up structures and bring in these people and put up our heads together, we will come up with ideas that the world have not seen.
Absolutely.
Nigeria, I'm telling you this, we will come up with ideas that the world have not seen and the world will marvel at. So I think my final word is, let's stay safe. As much as these people are lying to us, let's do the best we can. Make sure you pray all the time and stay safe. Stay
Yeah.
safe.
Oh,
Stay
before
safe.
before you go, What are the
Yeah.
few things that, for the people that are just joining us, we're just talking about the everyday ordinary people, how they are able to manage through this COVID-19. Everybody is talking about the rich and the famous, and you see all these big artists and big rich men, flaunting their big houses, which can do
Mm-hmm.
nothing for them. All the thousands of cars that they have in their houses now are just sitting down there. They can't drive it anywhere. The ones with jet planes, they are just parked in the pad now, accumulating more
Mm-hmm.
debt because they have to pay to park those jet planes. Um, you
Yes.
know, so nobody is talking about the everyday ordinary person. Nobody is
Yeah.
talking about them. How are they surviving through this period? How are they able to fend for their family? So, guys, thank you guys for joining. This is what we are talking about the everyday ordinary home, how they are able to survive in the third world, even right here in the Western world. Nobody is talking about the everyday ordinary people. It's all about the celebrities. It was so funny. I came across a video. Before I just let you go, let me quickly share this. I came
Okay.
across a video on social media yesterday. Yemi
Mm-hmm.
Alade was performing all by herself in her living room for the world to see. I laughed so
Oh
hard.
God.
Janet Jackson was on the street, maybe close to her house, I don't know, doing a
Mm.
moonwalk by
Wow.
herself.
By herself.
And I looked at this and I'm like, Jehovah God, whoever say you are not mighty.
Mm-hmm.
Ordinarily, if you had told these people to come and perform for the everyday ordinary people in a program like I run, they will tell you to bring millions of dollars before
Yeah,
they work. They will
that's
only
true.
fly the best planes and first class, and they will come with their entourage, and you have to pay for all of that. If not, they're not gonna come. Let's switch again to the men of God. You invite some of them to come and speak at an event. You will have to roll out a limousine, or you have to put them in the best hotels. You will have to give them a security guard. Today, everybody is doing an event performing for the whole world to see now for free. So I'm bringing that up to say that God is really doing something. God is showing the world that He is all powerful, He is almighty, He owns the universe, He can take
Mm-hmm.
it anytime that He wants. So again, we need to really be careful that there is a
Yeah.
higher being. I don't care what name you place on that higher power. We call him Jehovah, Yeshua.
Yeah.
We call
Mm-hmm.
him God. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
that you call him whatever you call him, but know that there is a higher power. So, my just to close this section is what were the few things that you were doing because you started with that very powerful opening. I just want the
Mm-hmm.
people that just joined us now to hear you in case they don't go back to the video. How do you
Okay.
just tell us a little bit again how you're feeling in this period because nobody said it the way you said it. So I want you just to repeat
Okay.
that part again.
Oh, okay. I've actually said a lot of things.
At the
But one of the
beginning,
things
you
is,
said how excited you were in this period.
yeah, it's exciting, exciting. As much as it's disappointing because our leaders are lying to us, to our faces, but then it's exciting to be able to have time for yourself, the things you have not been able to do for years, the
Right.
positive habits that you have abandoned over the years. It's a
Mhm.
good time to adopt those habits again. Those tidbits, if you're a Christian, those beautiful scriptures. Once in a while, you read a chapter and you lost track and touch with that. You can get back, on track, and all of that. And it's a good time to read books, to listen to telecasts, to listen to MP3s, especially for me, I'm a relationship strategist, like I said earlier, and I mentor people in two directions, which is relationship and career. You could just go and read books, listen to MP3s, audios on these dimensions of life, and
Mhm.
it will help shaping your mindset
Mhm.
and the likes of other. I think it's a very good time. I'm excited. I'm excited. in a sense, and somewhat disappointed, excited because I have enough time to mentor the people who have been on the lineup because of the amount of things I do on a daily basis in my life and my responsibility. I've not had time for them, but this time around, this time of isolation, I've been able to make up, create a structure where I mentor virtually like 3, 4 people per day, and it has been exciting. It has been amazing. It's overwhelming at some point though, because the number of people that are applying for the mentoring, private sessions are just increasingly coming up every day. But it's been an amazing time. It's amazing to know that you are a blessing to many people. Look up to you. You have been influencing and transforming minds and the likes of others. So it's a very good time to read books, to engage in activities you normally would not have time to, right?
Mm-hmm,
Engage in
mm-hmm.
those activities, and just use that, draw strength for happiness, for fulfillment from all that, instead of building fear and all of that about the COVID-19. Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so, so very much. So, guys, again, it's Sardon and Sir,
Amos,
as in
pardon,
Amos,
Iman, yeah,
Sardon Amos. So you
Amos,
can
yeah,
follow what are your handles on Facebook,
yeah.
Twitter, and Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook, Sadon Amos E. Facebook Sadon Amos E. Then Instagram
Mhm.
is Sadon Amos. Twitter is Sadon Amos, and that's just
Okay.
about it.
All
And we
right.
have mentoring classes. Sorry, permit me to say we have free mentoring classes we run every weekend. You can just go on our Facebook wall. It's called Mentorship Empire International. Just go on Facebook and type Mentorship Empire International, and you will see our daily series we do every day. It's called the Seller Gist. We do a post every day, and it has helped millions of people. So it's amazing. You could just go there if you want to be mentored, have a private mentoring session. Just go there, drop your WhatsApp number, and just say you want to be mentored on relationship and career path, and we will give you that for free. Thank you so very much for having me.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I am going to be bringing you back again,
No
maybe in a
problem. I'm always
week
happy
or
to participate.
two, And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and post all your link or your handles on our link here. So please share
Okay.
the video. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining again, sir. Thank you for your time. It's amazing.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Thank
much.
you
You have
very
a
much.
wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, all right. That was an amazing section with Sir Don Amos. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to try hard to, I'm not promising every day, but I'm going to try hard to bring one or two people up to just talk to us about how they're doing in their country. This was from Nigeria. We can have more people from Nigeria, from Kaduna State, to be precise. So I'm going to be bringing somebody from Lagos. I'm going to be bringing somebody from Abuja, from Benue, where I come from. And I'm going to be bringing people from right here in Canada, in the United States, Ireland, London. So stay tuned. Just follow me, share the video, and yeah, if you want to come live on the video chat with me, please just inbox me. And there's no protocol, no structure. I love to just do my things just as it get laid in my heart. I know a lot of people, they would plan, and it's great to plan, but for me is with things like this, I'm speaking to the lives of people. I just want to come the moment is laid on my heart to do it. I don't want to wait until the next day. And it's not about being professional right now. It's about bringing the right message to the right people at the right time. For me, that is the most important thing right now. So again, thank you so much. It's 4 a.m. here, almost 5 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going to catch some sleep a little bit. And yeah, I'll be live again today, later today. So just stay tuned. Thank you guys also very much. Please remember to share the video and just click thumbs up if the information helps you. Don't like the video just because you want to please Queen. Like it because the information helps you. If not, don't bother. God bless you and have a wonderful day.